Hello, everyone. How are you doing today?
Doing good, James. How are you?
Sir, how are you,
Um,
James?
I'm very well, thank you. It's very hot over here in England, even at
Oh,
six
yeah.
o'clock at
That's
night.
right. I hear you guys are getting a scorcher.
Ooh,
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Unfortunately, so I wanted to start off by saying huge congratulations on the film. I've seen it a couple of times now and had so much fun.
Isn't it
That's
great?
it's
Excellent.
it's
Thank you.
it's fantastic, and it's an original story which I love, and it's
Yes.
kind of a timeless piece as well. And you can watch it at any point, and it still feels like you're watching it at the right time. Um, Sean, I wanted to start off by saying a special thank you to you, especially, not just for taking the time today to speak with me, but the fact that for the past 20 plus years, you have been arguably the most iconic voice in the entire anime community. And if it wasn't for your performance, and I've just spoken to Chris and Kyle, and said the same thing to them, Dragon Ball is a huge part of my life, as you can see from the few items I have here. Um, so thank you for your dedication and performance
Thank
to
you.
this art form and Goku especially, but also the other characters that you've brought life to. So
No,
thank you.
thank you, dude. I mean, when you're in, look, I take art probably too seriously. I probably shouldn't. And I've learned in the last, I started out like being so hardcore about it. And I have over the last 20 years, forayed into business and other things that I tend to not like. But you saying that is really gratifying because it was a conscious choice to commit on that level back in '99. It was a conscious choice to make sure that kids would have a consistent voice growing up. That was real important to me because I would notice they changed the voice on shows, and I was taking over for the Canadian cast, but they were moving production to Texas, and I was trying to keep some vocal consistency with the vocal choice. But when they changed the voice when I was growing up, it just broke my heart, and so I really wanted kids to have a consistent through line. And so for you to recognize that here means it's really means everything to me as an actor and an artist. And I'm glad it was, and I'm glad it was noticed. Thank you. It really means a lot. I'm
You're
gonna start
welcome.
crying if I keep talking. Sorry. Thank you for
No,
that.
you're welcome. Thank you so much. So Dragon Ball Super superhero. This film boasts not only a superb cast of talent such as yourselves, but also some fantastic characters as well, both new and established. There's so much that happens. It's an hour 40 with credits, and so much happens in such a short runtime. Everyone has a great and important part to play. For Zach and Jason bringing these new characters to life, Dr. Hido and Carmine, how how was it for both of you to prepare to play these villainous roles, but also characters that have that room and that space to grow? Zach, if you want to kick things off.
yeah. So with Dr. Hedo, I think it was very important to me when we first started trying to work on the film and kind of like create this character. We worked on the voice for the character. Even me and Chris were sitting down talking about what are his intentions, let's really dive into what is behind Dr. Hedo as a character. And in the end, really, we just, he is all about his research. He isn't like inherently evil, but he probably does some things that are questionable, why he's in prison at the beginning of the film. But he does some questionable things to solely continue his research. I think kind of just getting to dive into this and do something different. I play a lot of hero characters. I've done so many young protagonists, young sounding characters. So to play a character that is like him, he's a younger scientist, but add a little bit of evil flair to him was just so much fun, and we had an absolute blast working on it.
Fantastic. And
Uh,
Jason?
See, I tend to play a lot of like big, scary bad guys and things like that. So being like playing a villain who's just sort of, put together and well coiffed and, is sort of, I'm realizing the term sort of the organization behind the organization. He sort of keeps things running in a straight line and making sure that things are timely and making sure that the presentations are all put together correctly. And that, when you have a boss like Magenta, one needs to. So, so I think that that was fun because I never quite pictured in like if I were to traverse into the Dragon Ball universe, I assumed that it would be perhaps in some sort of like, screaming, violent, fighting, big sort of role. So getting to play a character that's more just sort of like, that very well put together, very, sort of proper sort of villain was fun. I didn't expect that, but I had so much fun doing it because, as an actor, you love to mix it up when you can. So that was delightful.
Very calm and collected. He's cold, but he's calculated. He keeps things in check. No, I really like that. And even though there isn't, compared to some of the other characters, there isn't that much screen time when he is on screen, especially with your performance. He does steal the show with the mannerisms, just the subtle nuances of his character. Really does complement Dr. Hedo and Magenta and everything that's happening on screen. So what was it that drew both of you to the project? I'm guessing you were huge Dragon Ball fans before. And so what was it about this film in particular that really got you excited?
Yeah, I think just getting the opportunity to audition for the Dragon Ball franchise was absolutely huge to me growing up as a kid watching the show. It's been, I don't want to say it's super rare, but it still is pretty rare in terms of like voice acting auditions where I come across something that I already know or was like a huge fan of. I have had a few opportunities already so far in my lifetime where I've gotten to take on roles or be a part of projects that I was very, very passionate and knew a lot about. And this is definitely one of those projects. So just getting the opportunity to audition for it and now, be a part of this legendary franchise, work with Chris Sabat, like on the film, the director. It has blown my mind. And still to this day, we're going to go do the movie premiere and I'm going to have to constantly pinch myself and make sure that this is real. I'm going to film everything I possibly can. And I'm just excited to like be alive and live through this. And, it's wild.
Yeah, definitely working with Chris and, sitting here now with Sean, like it's very surreal, and gratifying and awesome. Like it really is. So, and with Carmine, when I first got the call to audition, it was very, Dragon Ball is so full of a lot of rich, deep voices. So when they wanted, another sort of spin on a deeper voice for the character, I was like, I don't know if when I sent off the audition, I was like, well, that may be the last I see of that anyway.
Well, Jason, Chris figured out that he wrote Japan or wrote Toei, and he figured out by listening to the Japanese version that the narrator was Carmine. Originally, they were going to cast a narrator and then Carmine, but they figured out by listening to the Japanese, and then he wrote them, and they're like, yeah, it's the same actor, same character. So I think that was really important because had we used two different actors, it could have messed with, it could have been very confusing. So I think it works really well, especially considering that he's a behind-the-scenes YouTuber. And he's got his all branding and he's got his streaming and he's got another angle, So to have him narrate, it's kind of a picture within a picture, kind of meta. It's kind of meta in that way. I think that's really great.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. It was just immensely gratifying to be able to get to, because you're right, absolutely. That portion is that was a lot of fun too. We had to make sure that we took our time with that and made sure that it turned out exactly as Chris wanted it. So that was a lot of fun. Like we just had, I love the way that Chris directs. It's so, he's such an actor's director, and he's so like, he's very, detail oriented, but not to the point that like it's irksome. Like sometimes that can happen. Yeah. But no. It was just wonderful to record for, and I came out. I love Carmine. Carmine was really fun to play.
Fantastic. Just very, very, very quickly, Sean. This story is very much centered around Piccolo and Gohan. As Goku is Gohan's father, do you feel like a proud father over this project and the franchise and the direction it's gone, and getting to see Gohan evolve in the story?
I have a joking father-son relationship with Kyle, but before the film, before we recorded, I called Kyle and I was like, dude, I'm so excited for you. And then after I heard his performance, I'm like, you totally killed it. And I don't want to give any spoilers, but he does a couple of cool things with his voice that I thought were really interesting and consistent with the Dragon Ball universe that I had established, but I don't know that he got from me. So, you know, it was kind of an all in the family type of situation. And so, yeah, I'm very proud of this cast, and it's very exciting to see some of the other cast members have their moment in the sun and the way that they do, and they execute it so flawlessly. Again, I've said this in every interview, this might be the best dub we've ever done. It's just came together. So, and it's a lot of moving parts, and there's a lot of seasoned professionals that had to really, you know, bring it, and they did. And above the line people, you know, I want to thank everybody, like, you know, Toei for giving us, and Akira Toriyama for giving us another masterpiece, and Justin Cook for just bringing it all together, and Chris directed the crap out of it. He just did such a great job. So to see Kyle, you know, it was almost like, I think I called him even in character, and I said, "Great job, son." He's like, "Thanks, Dad." Like we have this kind of joking relationship. You know, I almost wore we're doing a red carpet this week. I was going to wear a green tracksuit and just, you know, every time the press asked me, just go, "I'm just here to support my son." You know, I'm not going to wear a green tracksuit, but I thought about it. So yeah, it was really great. It's really, really great. So I'm so happy for Kyle, and he just killed it, you know. So anyway.
Absolutely. Guys, I've got to wrap up now. Thank you so much for everything. Again, huge congratulations on the film, and good luck with the premiere. I wish you all the best, and I hope I get to speak to you all again soon.
Thank you, James.
Thanks so much, James. Appreciate
Take care,
it.
Love the fruit.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Take care, James.
Time has come, I'm ready to go, venturing into the unknown.